but that's what happened anyway. And he's really going to be hoping to get lurkers out soon. Lurkers will be able to take care of Hydralisks if there are no blue overlords around. But once the overlords show up, the Hydralisks in great numbers should be able to do the job. And a lurker trap there really just smoked a few Hydralisks straight up. Very interesting game, as I'm sure you guys will no doubt agree. Very interesting stuff. More Hydralisks being formed here, and will be turned into lurkers most likely for revival. Looks like he's got that third base secure, so he'll be able to go for a third gas if he wants it. Lurkers obviously costing a fair bit of gas. Wanting to get that third gas geyser up and running. And Spire going down for Intruder, and I'd be surprised if this was a bluff Spire at this point in the game like Revival's was. I mean, Revival Spire bluffing, that was just clever, because he knew that he'd been scouted before Intruder and before he'd scouted Intruder. So come to think of it, that was actually quite a clever play, if you like clever plays. Hold that thought though, blue Hydralisks heading around the bottom of the map and lurkers totally missing them. They're going to swing by the overlord though, so Hydralisks may want to turn around. Yes, they are turning around, realizing the base is in danger. Looks like Revival's got about 6 lurkers there. He's going to just start camping them in a minute. Yeah, and burrowing them now. So lurker spines lashing out. Those Hydralisks are going to be it's going to be tough attacking those lurkers, but bear in mind that Hydralisks don't count as like really small targets, so the concussive damage of the lurker spines are not going to be halved. They are going to be halved rather. They're only going to do what, 10 damage against those Hydralisks, and if he gets enough of them to surround it, it's going to be like Medic Marine surround on lurkers, but much more effective. Because Hydralisks a lot more hit points and obviously take less damage from lurkers. They do they have a higher output damage per second than Marines do. So we'll see how this turns out. And the lurker's just starting to thrash that hatchery. But Intruder looking like he's getting in position, attacking now, surrounding the lurkers with spines. The overlord overhead, obviously, they can see. And wow, this is brutal stuff. The Hydralisks just cleaning up those lurkers. Wow, how often do you see a play like that, honestly? In top-level StarCrafts, Hydralisks versus lurkers in a Zerg versus Zerg game. Very rare stuff. Very rare. And Intruder has gone for Mutalisks. Revival is aware of that. He's built a lot of Scourges, Scourging out, hitting to intercept. This could be trouble if the Mutalisks get past the Scourges or kill the Scourges. Because Revival has not been building a lot of Hydralisks. He's building lurkers instead, and obviously lurkers cannot attack air. Hydra's just wiping out more of the lurkers here, doing a really good job defending against the lurkers, and it's brutal stuff here. And while he's defending, he's also getting ready to attack. There's plenty of Mutalisks out in the sky, heading straight for the base down the bottom left. The Scourges are totally out of position. Oh, they are going to attack some of the Mutalisks, following a hot pursuit, and these Mutalisks are going to go in free reign over the drones. Oh my god, this is nasty. Drones just getting fucked up right now. Ouch. Absolutely massacred. No spore colonies there at all. The Scourges finally coming in, but the Mutalisks should be able to pick off the Scourges right now. They've been whittled down, and total drone genocide at Revival space. This is going to be really nasty for them. And more Scourges being created, but just so difficult to get the Scourges when when the Mutalisks are in the hand of a good player. Just micro out of the way and attack the Scourges in the nick of time, preventing the maximum amount of damage from being taken. And whole bunch more drones. Oh god, they're gonna get slaughtered over here, and this is looking really bad for Revival, I must say. I mean, he was doing well earlier in the game, but this is nasty. Losing all of these drones, you cannot afford to have your economy hit this badly in any matchup, especially Zerg versus Zerg. And he's desperately trying to keep some pressure on the base, but as you can see there, oh my god, so many drones being lost. And finally I've got a few Hydralisks to at least get in some return fire against these Mutalisks, but with so many drones killed, I estimate a good 20 or so drones have been killed in a Zerg versus Zerg game. That's just insane. Putting down a creep colony back in his main base, as you can see, he was going to try and take to Hive earlier on, but that's out of the question now. He cannot really afford Hive tech units with such a low economy. And he's forced to start getting some spore colonies rather. And over at the blue base, forget that thought. More Mutalisks attacking. We've got Hydralisks in defense, so Mutalisks are sticking around for a short period of time before leaving in retreat. And plenty of target-rich environment for these Mutalisks, still getting kills. I mean, there's nothing really the Hydralisks can do except for limit the movement of the Mutalisks and hope that the Mutalisks don't get too cocky and take out even more drones. But honestly, I mean, Intruder can just waste Mulus at this point because he's going to have a rolling economy which can reproduce whatever kind of unit he wants. And Revival is pretty much fucked in the ass, to put it mildly. And there's the +1 Carapace going up for Mulus and a single Spore Colony at the expansion, preventing him from doing too much more damage. We've also got a single Spore Colony over at the natural expansion for Revival. Not sure if he's got one in his main base as well, but I guess that's where the Mulus should be heading. Yes, he does, but no drones to defend. So that's just sad. You might have noticed on the mini-map that Revival's also got an expansion way up here. It's totally undefended. Blue Zergling sneaking in, so Intruder's going to see that straight away. Now a Revival split between defending 4 bases. Intruder's going to be able to just swing in here with whatever units he wants. I'm really surprised at the number of Hydralisks that Revival has been able to create, though, despite all of this harassment. And here he is defending successfully with Hydralisk again. So very good economic management. He's really gone into damage control, and he's doing quite well at this point. It's going to be very difficult for him to take the game because he's so far behind now. But I think he's got a chance. We'll see how that goes. And we've got an expansion down to the southeastern reaches of the map. Very obscure location for Zerg versus Zerg expansion relative to the other bases, of course. And, well, another big attack coming in. He's got... Intruder's decided to go for a mixed force of Mulisks and Hydralisks. That's pretty cool, actually, because the opposing Hydralisks will be split between the 2 different types of targets. And both Mulisks and Hydralisks should be able to dish out a lot of damage as a result. And a huge amount of Mulisks coming in and attacking just where the Hydralisks aren't. And they should be able to pick off that Spore Colony. In fact, they have free run over the drones now. Finally, the Hydralisks get there, but Mulisks just killing and killing. This is a bloody game. Absolutely bloodbath. Oh, why am I yawning? Too much of a sleep in over here in New Zealand. Don't have to go to work for a while. Wow, amazing game. Another Carapace upgrade over here, so that'll be +2 in total for Revival, I do believe. And Intruder, going for that +1. Oh god, look at those! Look at that army. That's a massive Zerg versus Zerg army. Look at it creeping across the map. That's like a mid to late game Zerg versus Terran style army. And he's really going to do some damage with this. That 4th base of Revivals is toast. Look at this. Here come the Mulisks now, just a forward vanguard attack and smacking into that Spore Colony. Drones having to retreat it. They know what's good for them. And Revival's coming in here with a bunch of Hydralisks. He's actually stopping those drones to defend. Not a bad idea. This is real desperation stuff here. And we're talking about a Spartan-style choke there. And Intruder is running back because he knows that his units are out of class. And Revival is giving chase by the looks. He thinks he can take this force of Intruders, but Intruders turning around. This is a mistake here by Revival. Attacking again. Now that he's got the open ground, his forces can create a concave around the enemy Hydralisks and totally rip them apart. This is going to be only... Oh, Revival tried to come around for a flank, but his units are too late. The Hydralisks have already been decimated, and he's still going to be outnumbered. That would have been a nice flank if he managed to get there earlier, but poorly timed there by Revival. Didn't quite get it in time. If I were him, I would have backed off and just tried to get back in the game in terms of economy. But he's well and truly sunk now. He's lost a huge army against Intruder, and Intruder just had real no harassment apart from those few lurkers attacking early in the game. There he goes for a hive, so that's going to be devastating. He could go for he could go for Ultralisks, he could go for Guardians. He's got the gas to do it. And it looks like he's coming for the killing blow. Scourges, nice bunch of Scourges, took out a whole lot of Mulisks. It's not going to matter though. That would have been a great play for earlier on in the game, but ouch. Ouch. Oh, those Mulisks decimated. And Hydralisk totally following. And it looks like this 3rd base here, 4 Revivals are going to go down. So yeah, base is just dropping. And Intruder's going to be able to reinforce himself very quickly. These drones are going to get splattered by the Hydralisks, and he's left the game. Amazing game, guys. Zerg versus Zerg. Mayhem. That's a brood war at its best. I love seeing these Zerg versus Zerg on Orthodox games featuring Hydralisks and stuff. It just makes for much better play. I mean, the Mulisk wars are cool as well, but not as cool, in my opinion, as the Hydralisk wars. Anyway, guys, this is Fall. Thanks for listening. More commentaries coming up for you shortly.